Hey there, ladies. I am so glad it is finally March. I don't know about you guys, but February, even when we had our crazy weather that felt like we kind of skipped winter, February always feels to me like this waiting period where, it's not spring, it's not winter, it's just that kind of in between. And I'm so glad to be past that now and to be getting all of the new spring in. Super excited about that. By the way, our live launch, our live collection launch this Saturday is going to feature a brand new line that we're adding to Fashion Crush. It's called Dylan. It's from the True Grit company. I know you guys are going to love it. It is super wearable, super soft, elevated basics, lovely cottons. So you are definitely going to want to tune into that live. That'll be right, that won't be here in the VIP. That'll be on our regular business page at 9:15 on Saturday morning. So make sure that you plan to join me for that live launch. Also, we are getting new arrivals every day. So we've put out new Nikki Bicky tanks, new colors. We got new French dressing tops in that are beautiful. We got new blue pepper in, some super cute things there. I have Lizzie in the back room, fill in for the jeans that I've been out of. I have new Fit Kicks shoes from DM Merchandising. I have so much coming in right now. So super excited about that. I love this time of year. It's like Christmas in March when we're just getting all this new merchandise and putting it out on the floor. So super excited. We still have our great extra 20% off our sales. Those racks are dwindling, which is exactly what we want. So it is time to replace that sale merchandise with brand new spring merchandise. So speaking of spring, tonight's Wednesday wardrobing is all about the new spring trends for 2026. So we are starting that series tonight. Tonight I'm going to be talking about the key color trends for spring 2026. And then for the next 4 weeks through the month of March, I'll also cover style trends, fabric trends, and accessory and shoe trends. So by the time we get through this series, you guys will be completely up to date on everything that is you are going to be seeing as this new spring comes into the store. So let's talk colors. So rose quartz is the first color trend for the season, and this is that beautiful kind of, you can call it dusty pink, but it's almost like a little bit of a coppery rose. Beautiful color. This is a great example of that color. Then the next one is called party pink. So this is a bright, fun, very cheerful pink. Bright pink is a great example. It's not fuchsia really, it's just a bright, fun, pretty pink. So party pink is number 2. Then next is baby blue. Tons of baby blue this season. Already seeing that coming in. Such a great color, robin's egg blue or baby blue. You'll see it named different things, but this is a great example of that beautiful color. Such a great spring pastel. Really love it, and it's actually surprisingly easy to pair with different things. Next is Tropical Breeze, which is essentially your great turquoise, your classic turquoise color. Tropical Breeze is the next one. And then after that, Cherry Red. So imagine your dark cherries. That is the color of Cherry Red. And then after that is Peach Parfait. So almost like a terracotta, little bit of a Arizona kind of peach. So beautiful color called Peach Parfait. Again, not like super pastel, has more, kind of has more of a punch to it. And then next is butter yellow. So imagine a stick of butter, right? That is, and not necessarily American butter, maybe more English butter with a little bit more color, not that kind of whitish cream, but more of a yellow. So this is butter yellow, so really pretty. And let's see if I can, I don't have a good example of the regular cream, but this is definitely more of a creamier yellow than what I would call an ivory. It has more pigment than an ivory. So butter yellow. And then Seafoam Sage. So your classic light sage is also going to be a key color this season, and that's another great one that's super pretty for the summer, and also great for those earthy toned ladies. And then Silver Sky, which is like your classic gray. So not charcoal gray, not dove gray, but kind of right in between. So not super, super light gray, not super, super dark gray, like a medium gray. That's gonna be one of your key neutrals this season. And then blue indigo, love this color. It's such a punchy blue. It's like, almost like a periwinkle blue would be a great way to describe it. Really pretty, has a lot of pigment. Compared to the baby blue, you can see a lot more pigment. So this is our blue indigo color for the season. And then champagne beige. So I didn't have a solid in champagne beige, but this is a great example. This collar right here is a great example of champagne beige. So think about the color of champagne when you're trying to imagine this color. And then lastly, mushroom coffee. So a good light chocolate, not dark chocolate brown, with a little bit of mushroom tones. So a little bit of a gray in there as well. So beautiful mushroom toffee. All right, so now that's your color palette. Now let's talk about how you can mix and match those colors in maybe expected and maybe unexpected ways. Because you can take these colors and mix them conservatively and keep it very sophisticated, appropriate for work. But you can also mix these colors in unexpected ways, and it makes your look a little edgier and a little trendier, maybe for a fun weekend or something like that. So we're gonna talk about both of those. All right, so rose quartz. Obviously, rose quartz is gonna pair beautifully with champagne beige. All right, that's gonna be an absolute gorgeous combination. I think you're gonna be seeing a lot of that combination this spring. It's classic, it's classy, it's feminine, absolutely beautiful. It also goes with mushroom coffee. So the pink and the brown are gorgeous together. So this would be a great option as a brown bottom with your lighter color on the top. Again, another beautiful pairing that is very sophisticated and chic. But you can also pair champagne beige with baby blue. So again, this is, rose quartz, not champagne beige. Rose quartz with baby blue. So this would be another one of those maybe more unexpected pairings that are a little bit edgier but very, very doable. And you can also, and I actually personally love this one, pairing rose quartz with cherry red. So that to me is gorgeous. Like I wouldn't even hesitate to consider that. Gosh darn it, I'm trying to get underneath there so you guys can, there. To me, this is so beautiful. It almost falls in the range of a traditional pairing, but it may be not something that you would consider doing. So the cherry red and the rose quartz are a gorgeous combination to play around with. All right, next is party pink. So party pink is also gonna go with champagne beige, and I wanna show you how they have combined that in this skirt print. So here is your party pink, here's your champagne beige, and here is your cherry red. So as I've taught you in the past, you can use prints to help you maybe expand your perspective on different combinations that you could do. So you're seeing that we can absolutely do the party pink with the champagne beige. We can absolutely do the party pink with the cherry red. So let's look at that party pink and cherry red together. Also very, very pretty, a little bit more unexpected. And then definitely, like, I would not think of doing like champagne and party pink together, but they absolutely will work. Now, you probably would want to do the more neutral on the bottom, save the pop of color for the top, wearing party pink pants, maybe a little bit of a stretch, but the colors work beautifully together. So think of like party pink pop of color under a champagne beige jacket as an example. Would be a great way to kind of play around with those colors a little bit and do some unexpected pairings. Also party pink is going to be really pretty with your silver sky. So gray and pink are always a great combination. Again, your neutral on the bottom, your pop of color on the top, or your neutral as your jacket, your pop of color as your layering piece. So those two are very pretty together. And we talked, oh, the other one is butter yellow, which is another kind of surprising combination. Party pink and butter yellow. But it works. It works just fine. Again, maybe you do the pink as your pop of color and keep your neutral, this butter yellow, as the, you know, your jacket or your base color. So that's kind of a fun combination as well. All right, so next we have baby blue. So baby blue, again, is gonna be gorgeous paired next to champagne beige. So remember, we're using this collar as our champagne beige combination. So that's going to be very, very pretty. You can see that that's easy, kind of a no-brainer combo. And then baby blue with butter yellow, maybe not something that you would have considered as a combination, but very pretty together. Yellow and blue are always a great combo. And I love those two together. By the way, I'm going to be asking you to share in the comments your favorite unexpected combo that you never would have thought of, right? Like that you, oh my gosh, I never would have put those together, but how pretty, all right? So baby blue and butter yellow. And then last, another unexpected combo that works just fine is baby blue and seafoam green. So another pretty combo. Maybe again, you're doing the pop of color with the baby yellow or with the baby blue. You've got a jacket or cardigan or something in the seafoam green, and then you have some kind of neutral on the bottom. Would be a great way to do that. All right, then tropical breeze. So tropical breeze is going to be always great with your mushroom coffee. Brown and turquoise are always beautiful together. That's a classic combination you see in prints all the time. And then also champagne beige. So you're seeing the workhorses in this palette, aren't you? Champagne beige is a big workhorse. It's going to be one of your most important neutrals. So those two colors together. And you know, if you can do turquoise and champagne, you could probably also do turquoise and butter yellow. And I love turquoise and terracotta together. That's classic Arizona, right? Just think of all the colors that they put together in Arizona. These are always going to be a great combo together and really nice and earthy. All right, so that's tropical breeze. And then cherry red. So we talked already about putting cherry red with the champagne beige. We have not talked about cherry red with butter yellow, but also a really nice combo. Very pretty, very doable. The butter yellow really kind of lifts the cherry red because it's such a dark color, and it makes it feel a lot more summery. And then silver sky and cherry red. So gray and burgundy, right? Obviously going to be a really nice combo and a pretty traditional one. Okay, and then peach parfait. This is our peach parfait. So this one is another one that's great with butter yellow. Really pretty combo there. Maybe something you wouldn't consider. And then also with rose quartz. So rose quartz and what do they call this? Peach parfait. So that's a little edgier, right? That's a little edgier. This one's getting really into the kind of a little bit trendier, a little bit out of the box, but absolutely doable. And that's one of the things with these palettes. Expert colorists put these together, and everything is meant to work back and forth with everything else. It's just whether or not you would be adventuresome enough to try it, right? Some of us, yes, some of us no, and that's okay, because it's great to have a little bit of everything in our closet, and we can try that tiny little pop of color, maybe. Like, you know, maybe we can do a scarf in that color instead of a whole top in that color. Okay, so then butter yellow. We've already talked about how many things go with butter yellow. Baby blue and butter yellow is very pretty. And Seafoam Sage. We did not talk about this, but this is also a great combination. I think you're going to find that that butter yellow is also a major workhorse as a great neutral in the palette this year. And then Seafoam Sage is also great. We have not talked about it yet. Paired up with the mushroom coffee. Great combination. Love the two together. The brown and the sage green is very earthy, very Wyoming. So that is a classic combo that you could do there. And then the blue indigo. So this darker, richer blue. Pretty with the champagne beige. So again, this beautiful collar. That is pretty together, right? That would be very pretty together. That blue is really gonna pop that champagne beige. My shirt is falling off. Okay. And then a butter yellow, again, with that brighter blue. Very pretty. I think we talked about that already. And then also peach parfait. So that would be a little edgier combination, but also a beautiful combo to put the blue and that kind of terracotta peach together. Okay, so that's what I want to hear. If you're catching the replay, #replay, and I want to hear what was your favorite combination that you never would have thought of, but you would absolutely try on your own. All right? Have a good night, you guys. Be sure to join me next week for the next installment in this series, and also on Saturday at 9:15 for our brand new collection launch. All right, see you later.